So girls, like when I was younger and stuff, I was always into vampires and werewolves because I felt like that was like such a freaking interesting thing how like a werewolf would transform on a full moon and like there's some mysticality and some supernatural qualities to that. I was drawn to the supernatural when I was younger. And yet I have these things and skills and my abilities with my guitar of speaking light language on certain levels, which I get to. And it's like supernatural quality, supernatural abilities and quality. So, this is a fun podcast talking about my love for the divine princesses and the divine goddesses out there. I hope you're doing amazing. And, it's my dedication because I feel an obligation in my soul's purpose in my life to make like heaven on earth for the girls. Like for real, like if the divine princesses and the divine goddesses out there are doing really good, I want to make them really happy in their endeavors of whatever they do in life, whatever their goals, aspirations, new things they want to create, new ideas, and I want them to be super passionate about it. You know what I mean? And having that amount of joy within their soul to create these new things and stuff like this. I think it's very good to have a bunch of different traits and attributes of having, like, what I said before about, like, the joy and prosperity within the being, like the passions within you that your creativity and your the things that you normally do and stuff like this, that is good. The passions are actually a good thing, and it's there for you because you're in with your passions of what you're wanting to create or wanting to manifest in your life or wanting to have true to your soul. And all this would be manifested in a sort of accordance to like having exactly what you need to be healthy and happy with your passions of like I want the girls to be passionate about what their next move is in their life, that they want to have these awesome endeavors and stuff in their life that be good. It's beneficial. Like angels would be in a sigh of relief knowing that humanity would have their passions and stuff like this on their shoulders to where they're really into something. If they're really into something that they can grow, that they can utilize in their state of consciousness, to have that with them of what they have with their passions would make them great benefit onto all this of what it, develops to, like developing all these passions within the soul. Just pick a few of them to go all out on. And believe me, it's not like they say passion is a sin. Only used against God is a sin. You know what I mean? Or against the divine goddess is a sin. You know what I mean? These passions that we stir, like in meditation, we have a passion for meditation or something. We can go out and meditate and do our due diligence to do this, and then that would strengthen the mind of being happy in due diligence to itself in a sort of way where it benefits itself and honors itself in a way of honoring God and the divine goddess, because it's within ourselves of which we are the offspring, from which this divine orchestrament is created. So to contact the divine god or goddess, we got to go within ourselves to connect to the universe, because we are a part of the universe. And to connect with that part of ourselves within the universe, connect to the divine god and divine goddess. So that's what I'm saying. It's all an orchestrament of the divine will, the orchestrament of the divine god and goddess. Is what I'm saying is like the most things that came first between divine masculine and feminine of like the stars in the sky and everything like this, the divine power that's out there. And I can feel this time of year when, it gets during summertime and things are orchestrament to the divine equation of things, that it makes the divine sequence of the whole orchestrament of our passions and our will and our dedication to certain things on a certain level during times of year. Times of year, like winter is kind of like a slow time where things are not happening as much. Summer, there's a lot happening and a lot manifesting and getting created and stuff like this. So we benefit to that. We benefit to our possibilities of when it's in the times of that it's really good for us to be in times of that it's summertime and we don't have to like worry about the cold weather, where more manifestation can occur, not worrying about certain factors of itself. Nobody's worrying about the overheating of the planet. Sure, we have to deal with it, but that gets in the way of it somewhat, but not the majority of like we can get through it based off of like drinking water and stuff like this. It doesn't get in the way of it too much. But when we're cold and everything, it inhibits our creativity because we got to sidetrack our focus on something else to keep ourselves warm or something like this or the other. But in the summertime, we have to deal with that weather regardless if we have the air conditioning or not. And then depending on, we can still think and operate in the summertime, but sometimes it's more clearer in the winter because our brain's more sharp because it's colder and it's not as warm, and you know what I mean. But yeah, anyway, what I'm trying to get to now is Neo loves, worships, honors, and obeys the divine princess forever. I gotta like move this over here so that I can bow. Amen. I love you, divine princesses out there. And divine princesses, hopefully you take care of yourself the best you can, and I'll try my best to take care of you. It's just that if I'm not always there, like meaning like to make a podcast for you, because I love to make podcasts for you, um, I just wish I could do this more often for you in case that I ever slack, you know what I mean, on my podcast. That means I'm trying to recoup with other attributes of my life and to try to get that back in order. Sometimes I got to take care of certain things. But yeah, anyway, divine princesses, I love you and have a good day. And divine goddesses out there, I love you too. Because I'm like the divine god and you're like the divine goddess. And we're powerful beyond measure. And we can create anything we want together. We're co-creators. And I'm my mind has been reprogrammed by myself to co-create anything I want. And this is why I want to help you along the process as well, because I can teach you some things like key attributes and everything. And Sadara goes, because I literally could, because I am pretty smart. But, Sadara made it all better by saying right there. All right, anyway, thank you, Sadara. And because Sadara is the divine goddess too. And she helps me out because I like to have her company a lot because I feel her presence and stuff, and I really love her and like respect her. And when she's having the goddess attributes, it backs me up. And I have the god attributes backs her up. So we're strengthened in our bond, in our power. So that's what's cool about it. I like that. But anyway, yeah, on the podcast now. Okay. All right. Bye.